Imagine working your entire life. You bleed for every single dollar. You pay income tax on every paycheck, you pay GST on everything you buy, and you pay stamp duty on the roof over your head. You play by the rules for 50 years. Then you pass away. You think your hard-earned savings are finally going to give your kids a leg up in a brutal economy? But instead, before your children even see a single cent, the Australian Tax Office swoops in like a vulture and steals $85,000 right out of their hands. If you ask a politician, they will look you dead in the eye and smile and tell you that Australia does not have an inheritance tax. They will tell you death duties were abolished back in 1979. They are lying to you through their teeth. G'day. We do not have an inheritance tax on your house, we do not have it on your standard bank account, but we absolutely have a stealth death tax hidden deep inside the one place you hold the most cash, your superannuation. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this hidden 17% tax works. But more importantly, I am going to give you the exact legal playbook to wash your money, starve the ATO, and make sure every single dollar of your legacy goes to your bloodline, not to the bureaucrats in Canberra. But to beat the trap, you first need to understand how the government set the snare. Let's start with a story that plays out in Australian living rooms every single week. You go to a fancy solicitor in town. You pay them $1,000 to write up a bulletproof last will and testament. You state clearly in legal ink that when you die, your house, your car and your $500,000 superannuation balance is to be split evenly between your son and your daughter. You sign it, you put it in a fireproof safe, and you sleep well at night, thinking your family is protected. But here is where it gets incredibly dark. Your will does not control your superannuation. Your super does not belong to you in the traditional sense. It belongs to a trust, managed by a trustee. When you pass away, that money does not automatically flow into your estate. The people running your super fund get to decide who gets the money. If you haven't filled out a very specific piece of paperwork directly with your super fund, your expensive will is entirely useless. Your kids could be dragged into a legal nightmare trying to claim the cash you meant for them. But even if you do fill out the right paperwork, the tax man is still hiding behind the door, and he is targeting your children based on how old they are. Now, number 2 is the one that is going to make your blood boil. When you die, the Australian government separates your family into 2 distinct categories. They label them as tax dependents and non-tax dependents. If you leave your super to a tax dependent, like your wife, your husband, or a child who is under the age of 18, the government backs off. The money is handed over completely tax-free. But let's look at reality. If you pass away in your 80s, your kids are not teenagers. They are 40 or 50 years old. They have their own jobs, their own mortgages, and their own kids. In the eyes of the taxman, your independent adult child is a non-tax dependent. Because they can look after themselves, the government decides it is perfectly fine to penalise them. They look at your superannuation balance and they zero in on what is called the taxable component. This is the money your employer put in over the years, plus all the investment growth. For the average working Aussie, 95% of their super balance is made up of this taxable component. When your adult child inherits that money, the ATO slaps a brutal 15% tax on it, plus the 2% Medicare levy. That is a 17% hit instantly wiped from the ledger. If you leave $500,000 to your son or daughter to help them pay off their crippling mortgage, the government skims $85,000 off the top. They take a massive bite of the apple you spent a lifetime growing. But what if I told you there is a way to make that taxable component completely disappear? This brings us to strategy number 1 to defeat the death tax. The financial elite call it the recontribution strategy. I just call it washing the money. To pull this off, you need to be over the age of 60 and officially retired, meaning you have full tax-free access to your super. The strategy relies on a beautiful loophole in the system. While the money your employer put into your super is taxable to your kids, any money that you put into your super from your own after-tax bank account is 100% tax-free to whoever inherits it.
So, you sit down with an accountant. You tell your super fund that you want to withdraw a large lump sum of your money, let's say $300,000. Because you are over 60, that withdrawal comes out completely tax-free. It lands in your everyday bank account. Then you turn right around and you put that exact same $300,000 straight back into your super fund as a non-concessional contribution. You have just washed the money. The total balance of your account has not changed by a single cent, but you have magically transformed $300,000 of taxable money into tax-free money. When you pass away and that money goes to your adult children, the ATO looks at the ledger, realises the money has already been washed and they cannot touch it. You have legally starved the government of $51,000 in taxes and kept it in your bloodline. It is a brilliant, completely legal manoeuvre, but it requires strict attention to the contribution caps. You cannot just wash $1 million in an afternoon without triggering penalties. You have to play by the limits, which is why having a sharp accountant execute this for you is worth their weight in gold. But what if you are out of time? What if you are sick and you don't have time to play games with contribution caps? Here is where we look at the most aggressive, straightforward strategy in the book, the cash-out method. Remember the rule. The 17% death tax only applies to money that is physically sitting inside the superannuation environment at the exact moment you die. It does not apply to cash sitting in a standard everyday bank account. If an older Australian gets a terminal diagnosis or simply feels that they are reaching the end of their innings, they have a window of opportunity. Because they are over 60, they can log into their superannuation portal and hit the withdraw button. They can pull every single cent out of the fund and drop it into their Commonwealth, ANZ or Westpac savings account. The moment that money hits the regular bank account, it sheds all of the superannuation tax traps. It ceases to be super. It is now just cash. When you pass away shortly after, that cash falls under your standard estate. It is covered by your will. And because Australia does not have a traditional inheritance tax, that money flows to your adult children with absolutely zero death tax attached. It is the ultimate escape hatch. But you have to be warned, this is a double-edged sword. If you pull $500,000 out of your super and put it in the bank, and then you end up living for another 10 years, you are going to be paying massive amounts of personal income tax on the interest that money earns. You only pull the parachute cord on the cash-out strategy when you know the plane is going down. Now, I want to leave you with one final terrifying trap. Let's say you've listened to me. You wash the money or you plan to cash it out. You remember what I said in Chapter 1, so you call your super fund and you fill out a binding death benefit nomination, telling them exactly which child gets the money. You put the form in the mail and you think the job is done.
But here is where the system gets you on a technicality. For many retail and industry super funds, a binding death benefit nomination comes with a hidden expiry date. It usually lapses after exactly 3 years. If you fill out the form at age 65 and you pass away at age 69, your nomination has expired. It is completely invalid. The trustee of the super fund takes control of your money and they can distribute it however they see fit. They might give it to an estranged ex-partner or lock it up in legal red tape for a decade while your kids fight it in court. You must check with your fund today to see if your nomination is lapsing or non-lapsing. If it expires every 3 years, you need to set a reminder on your calendar or tape a note to the fridge. Do not let 3 minutes of lazy paperwork destroy a lifetime of hard yakka. The Australian financial system is not built to protect you. It is built to extract revenue. The suits in Canberra rely entirely on the fact that you are too busy, too tired, or too confused to read the fine print. They count on you locking your will in a drawer and assuming everything will be fine. They bank on your ignorance to steal 17% of your legacy the moment you stop breathing. But you do not have to be a victim of the bureaucracy.
You have the tools. You know about the adult child penalty. You know how to wash the taxable component through recontributions. You know the ultimate cash-out escape hatch. And you know to check the expiry date on your paperwork. Take the steering wheel. Book a meeting with an estate planner or an accountant and tell them you want to bulletproof your superannuation from the ATO. Make sure the wealth you built stays with the people you love. If this video helped you dodge a massive financial trap, please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next deep dive into the system. And if you want to support the channel and get priority replies, hit the join button below to become an official member of the community. Before you go, jump into the comments down below. Let me know what financial trap or confusing Aussie rule you want me to break down next. I read every single message and I will reply to you. Tell me your problem and we will sort it out together. I'm the Retired Aussie. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.